I'm Lindsay Smith. I'm an elite strategy coach, and I started as a solopreneur and mental health therapist and created multiple centers with dozens of incredible team members and a multi-million-dollar business. And now I help other entrepreneurs to grow and scale their business and exceed their profit goals. And today I wanted to talk about comparisons, because comparing ourselves to others is unfortunately something that happens a lot and way more than is helpful or healthy for sure. Now, there is a time when comparing ourselves to others is helpful. And when that's helpful is when we're looking at how did this person get where they got? Okay, so I'm not yet where this person is. Let me see what caused this person to get there. What can I learn from them? How can I use what they did to help me grow? That's a helpful way to compare, because you're growing from it, you're learning from it. But unfortunately, what happens most of the time is that we're judging ourselves compared to this other person, and it causes us to feel bad, and it doesn't put us in this place where we make progress. And that kind of comparison is not helpful. So here are some things that you can do when you find that you're comparing yourself to someone or you're judging yourself based off of that comparison. So the first thing is, when you notice that you're doing this, especially if it's online, but really anywhere, compliment that person. So whatever area that you're comparing yourself to them and judging yourself around, compliment that person on that thing, because we don't know how that person feels about it. They might be feeling insecure about this thing, and you might be like, oh my gosh, look at where they are with this. I can't believe that. I wish my whatever was like that. So compliment them, tell them, because you might make their day. That might be just what they needed to hear. And that also shifts things for you. You're going to start feeling better just by making that compliment to them and knowing that you might be making their day. Also, please remember that we are all uniquely made with unique gifts. So sometimes things come so naturally to us that we don't even realize how special it is. We just assume everyone can do it that way. So like for me, I'm super, super organized and have always been like this, and it's just how I am. It just happens. It's not like I try. It's like I can't do otherwise, because it's just part of who I am. That's one of my unique gifts. And because it comes so easily to me, it's not something I need to try. I might feel like, well, why wouldn't everyone just, of course everyone knows how to be organized. And of course it comes easily to everyone. I mean, it comes easily to me, so of course it comes easily to them, right? But that's not true. We all have gifts that come easily to us that do not come easily to others. And so first, just remember that. And second, know that we can help people using our unique gifts. We can support other people in learning these gifts or help people in myriad ways just with our gifts that are unique to us. And also remember that we're all on our own unique path. We all have our own life stories, the things that have gotten us to where we are, and they're different. So we can't compare where we are to where someone else is, because of so many things. We don't know what's happened before. We don't know what that life experience is like. We don't know what it took them to get there. And we also don't know, especially again online, we don't know how far into the process they are. So you might be comparing your year 1 or month 1 or month 6 to someone else's year 16. Like, we really don't know. And all of our paths are going to look different. And that's great, because when we're using our unique gifts on our unique path, we're going to be able to help people in a unique way. And that is super, super special. The other thing is so the one piece is around comparing yourself to others, right? But there's another piece of it where comparison can actually be helpful. And that's when you compare yourself today to yourself yesterday or a week ago or a year ago. That can be really helpful, because we can look at, how have I grown? Where have I grown? What am I doing differently? What have I learned? And if I haven't grown, not been spending enough time reflecting or looking back or figuring out how I can make progress. Now, if you do something and it doesn't work, that is not a failure. Unless you just leave it there. If you're like, I did something, it didn't work, well, I guess I'm not meant for this. Well, that's failure. But if you're like, no. Okay, I did this thing and didn't work. What can I learn from this? How can I grow? And what's my next step? And you keep trying, and you might fail again and again and again and again. But if you're learning every single time you're doing it, you are growing. You are figuring out, okay, well, this doesn't work for my business, at least not in this way. This doesn't work, not in this way. I'm going to tweak this one thing, or I'm going to do something totally different. I mean, there's so many ways that can go. But if you compare yourself to yourself previously, you will be able to see your growth or see your lack of growth and then be able to start making growth. Figure out, what have I learned? And another thing, when you're looking to make progress, focus on making 1%, just 1% a day of progress. Because if you make 1% of progress a day in a certain area, and anyone can do it, we can all do 1% a day, and if you make 1% growth a day, in a year, you'll have made 365% growth, and actually it's much higher than that because of compounding, but that's the easier math for me is to figure out. So it's higher than 365% in a year. It's incredible just by doing 1% a day. And then the last thing is you want to surround yourself with people who lift you up, who encourage you, who support you. And you want to do the same for the others in your life. So as you're working on making this progress, as you're working on growing, on learning, on moving closer to your goals, to your vision, surround yourself with people who are going to support you in the process and support others in the process who are in that same place. So this week, your challenge is every single time you notice yourself comparing yourself to someone else, compliment them, and then remember that you're on your unique path with your unique gifts, and then compare yourself to your self previously and look at how you've grown and what you've learned.